Watch this video, what if the Earth starts spinning at the speed of light? And like I've said in other videos, I learn something or get some type of information, and then more information and images come into my mind. So this is what came to my mind. So in this video, they said that on July 19th, 2020, the Earth had a shorter day because the Earth was spinning faster than it normally did. And they explained how the Earth used to spin faster and slower at different points in its history. What would happen if it did spin faster? The moon actually keeps it spinning slower. And they explained that as it spins faster, it would cause all this chaos on the Earth until eventually the Earth would be flattened and be destroyed. So I thought of the Earth's magnetic field and how it's kind of like a donut shape around the Earth and through the Earth. This shape is found everywhere. So they think that the universe might be shaped this shape. There's an article here about how black holes are not like donuts, they're like crullers. And you can see that there's like a spin, a torque. This image from Nassim Haramein. And then also the magnetic field around the heart is this donut shape. And Nassim Haramein also has an image up here that shows how this shape is in cells and atoms. And one of the major things in Nassim's theory is that the proton is a mini black hole. I can't remember which video I watched it was, but scientists claim that there's black holes all around us, they're just miniature. So I thought of this image and I thought of it as like a drain or a whirlpool. Or if you were at the outer edges, it would seem like you were going slower. But the closer that you got to the center, you speed up. So as they were talking about the Earth spinning faster, I thought about it as if the Earth was getting closer towards the center of itself, causing itself to spin faster. And anything that you notice in nature, in the environment around you, is fractal, meaning it is the same pattern repeated over and over again, the center being you. So like Indra's net of jewels, you represent one of those jewels. You are the DNA of the universe. So you reflect off all the other jewels, which are all the other people, all the other things you see. Everything in the universe is all a reflection of itself. If in the environment you see the Earth spinning faster on its axis, the universe is spinning faster on its axis. You could say the same process is happening in your cells, in the protons in your body. Go to video 2 and I'll tell you what I think this means. So as the Earth was spinning faster and faster on its axis, I thought of it as if it was folding in on itself, going into its own drain or own center. And as it does this, it looks like destruction on the outside of the world. But remember, if you see this on the outside, this would also look like destruction on the inside. So this could mean more diseases being shown in humans. You could also see more activity in the universe, such things like asteroids, black holes, and such. However, the message that I was getting with this was to vibrate at a higher frequency. I'm not sure the best way to explain this, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. But it's as if the Earth was traveling around this spiral and going into the center, into that pit, okay? But that pit is dense and tight, kind of like a black hole. So if you don't change, if you stay the same as you are now, you would be crushed or like obliterated, or it would be something unpleasant. But if you are at a high vibrational speed, then there's something there that hasn't been discovered, or at least is something we aren't aware of right now. And like I said in that other vision of like being in the pit, it's like these gems or crystals, and then I thought of crystal, and I thought maybe there's crystal at the center. And then I thought of all these scripture texts that talked about God sitting on a crystal or a sea of glass. And I thought about the vibration of the crystal, and then I thought, what if the universe was the vibration of crystal? And to basically survive, in a sense, going into that pit, you have to vibrate like crystal. Go to the next video and I'll tell you what I found. I thought, what if the center of the universe is crystal? Then I thought about how everywhere is the center. Every person is the center. Again, like this, all reflecting off each other. So then within our bodies, we have these crystal centers in each cell, and it just goes on and on and on, a fractal type pattern. thought was, is the crystal singing what's making the universe? Now, I always research to see if anyone has thought of these things that I think of. Came across this. Is the universe ringing like a crystal glass? You can see where they've drawn this out, like the Big Bang, the singing of the crystal. There's also this entire scholarly article that I have not been able to read yet about that very theory. My next thought was, is the singing dying or going down? That why things are so-called falling apart? According to this article, yes, the universe has a background noise ringing like a crystal, and it has been dying down. It's decaying and it's very small. And I thought, well, we are the crystal. That means that we are not singing. Now look at how we sing here in just a minute. But first, different religious scriptures, they talk about the glass sea, like crystal. This says, I saw before me what seemed to be a glass sea mixed with fire, and on it stood the people who had been victorious over the beast and his statue, and the number representing his name. They were holding harps that God had given them. And in this one it says, at once I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne stood in heaven, and one seated on the throne. And he who sat there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian, and around the throne was a rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and seated on the thrones were 24 elders, clothed in white garments, with golden crowns on their heads. From the throne came flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder, and before the throne were burning 7 torches of fire, where there's 7 spirits of God, and before the throne there was, as it were, a sea of glass, like crystal. Even in the Mormon religion, it says they reside in the presence of God on a globe like a sea of glass and fire. All things for their glory are manifest, past, present, and future, and are continually before the Lord. The place where God resides is a great Urim and Thummim. And the earth in its sanctified and immortal state will be made like unto crystal, and will be a Urim and Thummim to the inhabitants who dwell thereon. And this is what I saw in the original vision I had of like this pit. Is me going down and burning off layers. Earth going down and burning off layers. Coming to light and seeing crystals and gems. The earth was a crystal. I was a crystal. I was made up of crystal. Go to part 4.